morning, sports fans, ASMR Sports back inside your business. Hey, I've got a little stack of cards that I've just been kind of waiting to share on a video because I've picked these cards up over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 shows that I've either, attended just to buy or that I've sold cards at. And I thought it would be fun to kind of go through them so you could see what kind of things that I buy. I don't actually buy a lot of single sports cards these days, just because, I don't know, I don't really like single sports cards. I tend to just let them languish until they're worthless in value. But sometimes I can't help myself, and there are definitely like things I like more than others, and so when I see those at card shows, somebody's having a small penis contest out there. So I do, like certain single cards, but rarely see them. And when I do, I try to pick them up. But I'm also offered a lot of cards for sale at card shows that, I almost always pass on, but sometimes I can't resist. So I'll start out with one of those examples. Here we have a Josh Allen. I believe this is a rookie. 2018. So this is a rookie year Premier Jerseys card. I believe these were like blaster box exclusives. And I've gotten these cards in the past. Like I have a Luka Doncic for basketball of these, and I feel like it's always crazy to me they don't put the rookie card logo on these, because they should, because they're rookie cards. And they're always very low value. I think the Luka one I have in a PSA 9 holder, and it's probably worth like $60 or something. But they're prisms. They have the jersey, so you'd think they would be worth a decent bit, certainly more than a base rookie card, but oftentimes they're not. So I don't know, if they're a player I like, I consider them to be kind of a cool card that has some good value for the money. So somebody was selling one of these. I looked it up. I offered him, maybe like, I don't know, 10% less than comps, and he was happy to sell it. So I don't know what this $7 sticker is, but this is definitely not a $7 card. I can't remember how much it was, but I felt like it was, pretty reasonable. At the time I bought it, I don't really have any Josh Allen rookie cards, I don't think. I might have one or something, like a real base one. But I'm a Bills fan, and, he has done quite well for the past few seasons, so I always regret that I don't have any cards of his when, the Bills are competing for the playoffs again, and now I'll have at least something. But, not the best card, but still a kind of cool one for the price, I think. Alright, next up we have a card that I don't think I had seen before. It sort of showed up, and a young boy was trying to sell some cards, and I think these next 3 actually are all from him. Kind of had a weird selection of cards. They were all kind of, mid to late 90s cards in like sub 9 PSA holders. And I actually was trying to remember if I'd shown these cards off before in another video. I feel like I might have, along with like some unopened stuff that I bought. But just in case, I'm gonna show them again here, because they are pretty cool cards. There's only 3 of them, so let's take a look. So this is 1996 Collector's Choice, and it's a tri-player card. And if you know anything about basketball cards from the 80s, then this is this 3 mini cards on a single card is a concept that came from 1980 Topps basketball, where there was a really cool card that featured rookies of Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and then Dr. J. Julius Erving thrown in for good measure, and that's one of the more valuable cards of the kind of early 80s, really for all sports, but certainly for basketball. This is kind of reminiscent of that. It's got 2 rookies, and then actually, are these? I think these were all not. I don't think Garnett was. Well, was Garnett a rookie the same year as Bryant? Kind of suggests that if he was 1996 All-Rookie team, and then I know Bryant was a rookie in 96, so I think this is all 3 rookies here. And also it says G-O-B, Job, for you fans of a certain TV show. But yeah, anyways, I don't know. I thought this. Gosh, I can't believe Garnett was the same year. Could they have been off by 1 year, and he was like a fresh draft, and then he had a year behind him? I don't know. I don't know enough about these 2 guys. I know they were close, but I feel like suspicious that there is a card like this that has the rookie of Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant. But if it is true that they were both rookies in '96, then this card is even more awesome than I thought. But Kobe is the star of the show, certainly, and Jermaine O'Neal didn't really do very much. Certainly not compared to those other 2, but I don't know. It's a really cool card. I don't have really any slabbed Kobe rookies. In fact, I don't know if I have any Kobe rookies at all. I actually have a few in my possession because a friend of mine gave me his basketball card collection to look through during the pandemic, and that's when basketball cards were just absolutely popping off. And there was a couple of kind of low grade or low condition basketball cards, Kobe rookies in that group. So I have those still, but unfortunately everything's gone down big time since the end of the COVID era, and so not much incentive to do anything with those for the moment. So speaking of Kobe rookies, here's another one that's a very low grade EX5. There's a giant crease in the corner there, but other than that, it kind of presents fairly well. So not a terrible card to have. I'm sure I comped this out at like, I don't know what, $10 or something. So if you ever need a Kobe rookie, maybe you got a young Lakers fan that really wants a Kobe rookie, but they've only got $5 on in their budget, and what can you do? Well, you can dig up something like this cool little graded card. That's a rookie of one of the greatest of all time, Kobe Bryant. Collector's Choice was kind of the default lowest value set of the upper deck world back then, so there's probably going to not be anything cheaper than the Collector's Choice rookie for any player. And then last in this little collection of low-grade slabs is a nuts and bolts Michael Jordan from the '95 Fleer Metal set. I believe I have some boxes of this stuff in like Series 2. I bought like 4 boxes of this set, if this is Series 2, but it's probably Series 1, back during the pandemic boom when everything was going up, and those had not quite gone up as much as I think they did ultimately, but they're probably back down, so perhaps I've lost money on them. But anyways, I don't know, any sort of metallic chromium card of MJ in a slab that's at least an 8 is tough to argue with, and I don't really have many cards that fit that description, so I was happy to pick this up. And again, it was a kid I was buying these from, so I was kind of just like willing to take whatever I was even remotely interested in. So anyway, so that's those. Next up are cards that all came from the same dealer. This was a card show that I went to in Minneapolis, and it's funny, I was in Minneapolis once a couple of months ago for a tennis tournament, and I went to 2 shows when I was out there. One was a smaller kind of sports card and TCG show. There was maybe 25 tables, 30 tables there. It was at like a local school gymnasium, and I bought all these cards from a dealer there who I felt had pretty fair pricing on stuff. He also had some older sealed stuff that looked pretty tempting, but I didn't buy any of that from him. I also bought some Pokemon stuff, and there were some other things that I was tempted to buy there. And anyways, then like a couple weeks ago, I was in Minneapolis again, and I went to another show that was a larger show that was both sports and Pokemon. And there was maybe like 50, 60, 70 tables at that one. And the same dealer was there, and I ended up buying a ton of stuff from him because he had some really nice sealed Pokemon that was right up my alley. And if you like Pokemon cards, please do check out my Poke Relaxing channel, because A, there's lots of Pokemon content, and B, the really cool stuff that I bought from this guy is going to be featured in a video there pretty soon. So if you want to see that, check out Poke Relaxing on YouTube. That's my channel, and that video should be coming out soon. Alright, so what this is basically is a bunch of stuff from like a little kind of vintage bargain box of all different sports, but when I look at stuff like this, I'm particularly drawn to like hockey cards, football cards, basketball cards, because I have a bajillion baseball cards from this era, kind of like, 80s, like late 70s to, late 80s. I have just tons of baseball cards, and nothing is particularly interesting to me, except maybe Don Mattingly rookies. So largely I'm looking for football and, hockey cards, and sometimes basketball cards from this era. If I see a box like this that has, 80s stuff in it, or 70s to 80s stuff, and so that's largely what I've got here, because I just don't have many of these cards in my collection, if any. But here we have a Mario Lemieux from 86, I believe. No, I'm sorry, 88. This is an 88 Lemieux, which is, I think, his like third year card. His rookie was 85, and then 86. Okay, it's fourth year. It's a fourth year card of Super Mario, and don't have any of this card, so was happy to get it. And these are, very cheap, $3. A lot of times there was multiple cards, multiple of a single card, and the pricing would be different because the grades were, or the condition was a bit different on each one. So this one must have some issue with it to be so low, but I don't know, the near mint price of this card could actually just be $5, so maybe it's not even really much of a deal. Alright, so here's an example of a card of which there were, I think, several, but this might have been the cheapest one. This is a 80, I want to say 83. Yeah, 83 tops, or no, 84 tops. Wayne Gretzky. Don't have this card. Don't think I've ever had this card. Looks pretty sharp. A lot of these cards look like they're kind of straight from a pack, but they have centering issues maybe, or like some scuffing from the factory. So I don't know, these cards all felt pretty clean to me, and I like that. So $12 for that one felt like pretty good. Okay, so yeah, here's an example of a card where there are multiple ones. And it's funny because this one looks actually way more off-center than this one, if centering is the primary issue. And yet it's $7, so I kind of feel like between the $3 and the $7 one, the $3 one looks nicer to me. But anyways, I got them both because I like Mario. So, and then here's another example of one. There was multiples. So one of these is $10. You can see this one is quite a bit more off-center. And one is $12 with a little better centering. So, happy to have multiples of these cards. Alright, this one's a really cool one, I think. And I think I have multiples. Yeah, I got 3 of these cards. So this one's pretty off-center. You can see the top's logo is like almost cut off the top of the card there. So pretty off-center top to bottom. But otherwise, very sharp corners, and edges seem fine. So these feel like cards that came from a pack, with some imperfections straight from the factory. But this is a very early Gretzky. This is from 81 tops, so it would be his third year card. And it looks cool. It looks old. I like it. I've never had this card in my collection, but I've seen all of the kind of early 80s Gretzkys, and always thought it would be really cool to have some of them. So I'm glad I finally got some of the 84s, some of the 81s, and we'll see the price prices here. Yeah, so we've got a $17 one on the right, 25 in the middle, and a 15 on the left. And so the $15 and $17 ones look really off-center, top to bottom. So that seems to be the issue with those. The $25 one looks quite well centered, not perfect by any stretch, but much better than the other two. It does have a kind of a banged up corner. So this is maybe like a PSA 7, I would say, at best. And I don't know what these go for, like kind of in just near mint raw condition, but alright, next up we have a very old Bobby Hull card that was $22. And yeah, often I think it would be really fun to collect, like Hall of Fame cards of some of the biggest NHL and like NFL stars, because I just do not have many cards from that era, and they always look like really cool to me. And compared to like cards of baseball, the big baseball Hall of Fame stars like Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and stuff like that, the hockey and football cards are so much cheaper. So these things always feel very appealing to me when I see them. And I don't know what year this card is from. Looks like maybe 1970. So happy to add that one for $22. And then I did get one baseball card just because I feel like $8 for any kind of Willie Mays card from his playing days is a pretty solid deal. This is a 73 Topps, and it is quite beaten up. It's got very round corners, and that corner's kind of mashed up as well. So this one's pretty beaten up, but I don't know. It's hard to go wrong with a sub $10 Willie Mays or Hank Aaron or certainly Mantle. But there's a number of guys where if you can get any of their playing day cards for less than $10 and there's not like a giant hole on their face, it's a pretty solid pickup. So that's kind of where I sit on that one. And then yeah, back football. I've got a couple football cards here to end. This is a Walter Payton. I think this is such a cool looking card with the red name band there, the really kind of contrasty blue there on the corners, and a nice photo of Sweetness, one of the greatest running backs of all time, if not the greatest. Focusing on, I don't know, checking the score or something up on the scoreboard to see how many yards he's got to plow through players to get a touchdown for. So, yeah, I love Walter Payton. I'd love to have every Topps card of Walter Payton if I could. I did pick up one of his rookies a couple years ago in like a pretty low grade, like PSA 7 or something like that. Might have been 6. I don't know. It was pretty cheap compared to the top grades, but I don't really have many other. I think I might have like a 60. Oh man, what is that? Not a 60. I mean, he was a rookie in the 70s, but what year is that? 78's the one with like the team on the side going down like vertically. I think that's 78. Yeah, I think I have maybe one of his cards in that year, but other than that, don't have much. Maybe I have an 86 somewhere, but yeah, would love to pick up the 79, the 80, 81, 82, 83 of Walter Payton. Alright, last card. This seems like a pretty solid deal to me. So Joe Namath is another one of those real name brand football Hall of Famers that I just do not have many cards of. This is one that I've seen lots over the years. It's from 1972, and it's like whatever 5th or 6th year card of him, but pretty clean front, beat up corners a little bit, but centered pretty nicely, so it looks pretty cool. And it's another guy that I'd love to have like all of his Topps cards if I could. Maybe not his rookie unless I can find it in very low grade, but happy to have a really great Hall of Fame football quarterback added to the collection there in an early 70s card. So, alright, that's what we got for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed seeing those cards. I'll go now put these away into the collection/inventory and keep on looking for more fun stuff. Alright, folks, I hope you have a good one. See you all next time.